The New Decade. Beloved friend, peace be with you. I am the one known as Joseph, earthly father to the one you have known as Jeshua, and beloved husband of the one you now call Mother Mary. I had my own life, my own identity as Joseph, and I lived that lifetime happily in the Essene community. After releasing the body in that lifetime, there were other lifetimes when I collected much wisdom, the same as you are doing now. And I brought the wisdom once again into an incarnation which you have now called Saint Germain. It is from the vantage point of Saint Germain that I would speak with you now, for there is a message from the Council of One that has been given to me to pass along to you. You have heard of the Council of One. It is truly the council of all the higher souls, the souls that have come into awakening. Even though you have focus upon your present personality and lifetime, you are part of the Council of One, for in truth there is no separation. We are all one. We are all of the divine one mind. As you have heard it said, you are the expression of the one creative principle come forth into various realities to try out different scripts, to try out how it would be to create, and vast and myriad have the creations been, and will continue to be, even outside what you see now this reality to be, even outside what you would define as a physical reality. The realities will continue, and that is why the Council of One has asked me to speak with you now as you embark upon a new decade. You have come through the experience of moving into a new millennium, where there were many prophecies, including many negative prophecies, because this reality believes in duality, where there can be good and the opposite of good. Some of the prophecies were quite dire. Well, you came into this new millennium, and guess what? The computer still worked, the washing machine still worked, telephone still worked, and you kept waiting for a few months into the new millennium for disaster perhaps, to come from the skies, forgetting that you are the creative ones who bring forth everything, and you are the ones who then judge whatever comes forth, whatever it be good or medium or not so good. You also came into a new century, and you wondered as you moved into the new millennium and embarked upon the new century, what is this century going to bring? You looked back to the previous century, and you saw an evolution of awareness that was quite tumultuous, quite representative of the belief in duality, for there were the world wars, as they were called, where many countries were engaged on one side and on the other side, believing in separation and believing that new technology would solve everything. But you also look back at previous centuries, and there was hope and optimism that truly you could be moving into another golden age. Now, you have known some 5 centuries or so ago an age of enlightenment, an age when there was much of evolutionary thought that went beyond the so-called dark ages. Then there was a balancing in this reality where if you have something on one hand, pretty soon you are going to have something on the other hand to balance it out, so that you have come through some centuries since the age of enlightenment to a place where the enlightenment and the darkness have interchanged with each other at various times. So the first decade of the new century of the new millennium has been a working out, a review, if you will, of what has been in the past centuries. You are now moving into the next decade of this new century and new millennium, and it is going to be one of excitement for you. There is going to be a winding down of some of the conflicts that you have seen going on because the younger generations are going to be tired. Even though the habitual generational thinking has been that they have all known and it has all been taught, they are going to begin to ask, is there not another way? In the next decade, you will be interacting with ones that you see face to face, and you are going to be interacting with other ones that are as a potential face to face, ones you have known in other lifetimes and constellations, who have agreed to meet up with you once again at a specified time within this reality. Furthermore, you will be interacting with ones that are within the mind and within the memory. Sometimes you feel a presence around you that perhaps you can identify as a friend who has released the body, or a loved one who has released the body, or an ascended master whom you have read about and you feel, this one cannot be here with me, but this one is. Where else would they go? They are within your field of energy as you are within their field of energy. This awareness is going to be the most important part of the new decade, knowing the energy that you are, and the energy of all ones, whether they are in physicality or in mind, intelligence, capital I. Awareness of energy is going to be the most pivotal point of the next decade. You are going to feel and experience the world in a different way, and others are going to know it because of how you go in your life, knowing that you are truly not the body, you are not the personality, you are the energy of an ascended master radiating forth the intelligence. You are all ascended masters who have agreed one more time that you will descend into this reality that is not your home, That is not the place where you want to abide forever. But you have agreed that you will bring your energy and your light and your laughter into this reality that believes itself so seriously to have to judge, to have to struggle. This next decade is going to be movement into knowing non-separation. You are going to see separation still with some worldly affairs. You are still going to see separation of body, but you are also going to understand that the bodies are not solid. They are forever changing as your energy patterns change. You have the technology for reading the auras already, for having the photographs that show the change in the auric pattern as you have different emotions or you think different thoughts. The photographs are proof for you, because this reality yet wants to see the proof out there before the understanding and truth is then accepted within. The new decade is going to fine-tune a knowing, the same knowing that you feel when you hug another one, and that you are in love with that other one when you know yourself to be one with that other one, just for an instant perhaps or longer. When you are in that embrace, truly what you have done is to bring the energy fields together, even closer, into a place where you can feel, if you tune into it, the vibrational level of love. This decade is going to see a change in how you view yourself, how you view others, and how you view the world situation. You are not going to deny the earthly conditions. If you are in a position where your help is needed, you will give the physical help. You will give the golden coins if that is what's needed. You will help ones as your guidance tells you to. In this next decade, because you are going to understand the great ball of energy that you are. And I do not mean that you are overweight. You are going to feel yourself totally, happily alive. And you are going to be very intuitive as to others' energies, where they feel themselves to be. Now, this is already happening, but it is going to increase. As this awareness increases, you are going to also know how to keep your balance, to keep your feeling of joy in the face of others who are finishing or completing their dramas. You will not be disruptive to their dramas, but you will keep your own balance within yourself. Your planet, this most beautiful planet that we have brought forth, is changing. You have noticed some of the climate changes. You have noticed the intensity of some of the storms and the change in weather pattern. You have either been experiencing it where your dwelling place is or where the loved ones and friends are dwelling. There has been an intensity of energy patterns swirling around this planet. Those patterns come from the collective consciousness. Where else could they come from if all is one? They also come from your directive. In other words, you can direct a storm away from wherever you are if you know that you can do this, and you can. For other ones, they may decree that they want to know the adrenaline rush of a storm. If you want to do that, there's no judgment. It is an experience. But if you do want to experience the intensity of a storm, call it a tornado, a thunderstorm, even a snowstorm, if you do not want the hurricane coming to your dwelling place, you can direct it out to sea, up into the outer atmosphere. You can direct it because it is connected to your energy. All is one. The intensity of the storms that you see happening now and the swirling of the climate change that is happening is coming from the collective consciousness that is sometimes throwing a temper tantrum, and so you see the outpicturing of that energy. It may be coming from confusion within the collective consciousness, and so it is outpictured, again as a clearing, as a storm that will come through and will clear the energy. Now, there are climate changes that are happening. There is global warming, and it is due to humankind. Yes, you are the reason for the global warming, but that is not said in judgment as a negative thing. It is said to allow you to understand how powerful you are, how you bring forth changes, how you have asked for evolutionary change in what grows upon this planet, what form of the animal life is going to be upon the planet. For truly, as one species may seem to leave the planet, another species is born. There is never a vacuum. There is always a change which is happening. So you can take responsibility for the global warming. The global warming comes because you are stepping up your vibratory rate as a collective. And again, there is no judgment in it. It is an experience. Nothing is ever lost. The form may change, the species may change, and things may look different, feel different. Your historians have told you of the ice ages, and you have evidence of the glaciers and the glacial rubbish, the rocks that have been left behind by the glaciers of the other times. So it is not something that you are bringing about as a disaster. It is part of what you have decreed that you will know as change, because the collective consciousness of the human is one that desires to know change. If truth be told, and I will tell it, all of creative intelligence wants to know change. You are the extension of the one creative principle. Therefore, you are going to keep on creating. There is nothing wrong with change. Flow with it. Welcome it. Look for new species of flowers, trees, plants, animals, even humankind. Know you that in what you would call prehistory, the human form, you do know this, because some of your scientists have taught you this. Although there are ones who do not believe in evolution, as it is called, you had heavy fur covering on the body. You still have some of it left. Some of the men, you still have some of the heavy fur covering around the chin. So in this next most wonderful decade that you are just now walking into, there is going to continue to be an evolution of mankind. Not especially in the appearance, but in recognizing and acknowledging that which you are in energy. Because truly, no matter how much makeup the woman or man puts on, how much of the raiment you change and put on, the energy that you are is going to be obvious. Everyone will feel and know it is a loving energy, or if it is a confused energy or an angry energy, and there will be no hiding it. The awareness is going to be accentuated in the next decade, because ones are going to feel, especially those of you who are already the sensitives, are going to be feeling energy within themselves, and you will be able to catch yourself as you begin to perhaps close down, or as you perhaps feel a bit of rising of the volcano of energy. Begin to build up a self-esteem, and begin to feel then the expansion of your energy. When you feel at peace with yourself, and you feel at peace with others, because truly no one can touch your peace. You are the only one who can affect your peace, and that is only temporary. More and more you are going to come truly alive as the energy that you are, as the walking, moving, loving, living energy that you are. Your energy truly reaches the farthest galaxies, because there is no separation of mind, capital M. There is no separation. It is all creative principle. So be it. Joseph St. Germain.